So the next project is going to be starting to put the back end back in the ZX10. Even though it's winter, I suppose I better clean some parts. Ooh, it's going to be cold. What's the saying? The best laid plans of mice and men, I do believe. Yeah, so I've just spent the last half an hour outside cleaning the rear mud guards, etc. Filmed it all, and the light was on, and the counter was counting, and guess what? Guess what happened? You'll never guess, honestly. Yeah, when I come to take the footage off the card, there's nothing there, didn't record. And if you think I'm going out there again and clean it in again for the sake of 2 minutes filming, no. Just think yourself lucky. I was dressed, and if it was in the middle of summer, I could have just had my Speedos on. Ooh. Oh, even that's making me queasy. So guys, we'll just get on with like putting the back wheel in and stuff now. So, oh well, you live and you learn, don't you? Guys, it's going to do a bit more work on the ZX10. It's -3 in here at the minute, so I've got a little radiator, and we're just going to start putting the back end back together. Swing arms in, all the bearings have been inspected, greased, etc, etc. Now, I've stated before, the idea of this project is literally get it back together enough, good enough for an MOT, safe, and then, well, if we want to tart on it later, we will do. But we're going to start putting the back end back together, the plastics, hopefully get the rear wheel in. I've got to renew the oil in the shock, which I'll do probably using an old Scott oiler bottle or something like that, and we're going to put in exactly the same amount as I took out. And other than that, what I'll probably do is just probably film it on a time lapse, and then I'll voice over it if and when it needs anything explaining. But basically, guys, it is what it is. So sit back, grab a brew, enjoy it. See you later. Do you know, it's nearly at that stage of the project where I've not been on it for a little while, and sometimes you can't remember where stuff goes, so you end up fitting stuff a couple of times, which is, you know, it's fine, you'll get there in the end. There we go. Do you know, for a short bolt it's got a long thread. There we go. Okay. Well, slowly but surely, guys, we're getting there. Rear mudguard on. Got the igniter box to mount, obviously. The hoses to route. The back's just cable tied at the moment. The rear wheel's got to go in, but that's the mount for the reservoir and what have you. That's got to go, I think, the other side of the frame rail, but there is a hole for it. So it's getting there, slowly but surely. I don't know how much I'll actually get done today though, because it's effing cold. But I mean, even if, you know, this only ends up being a 10-minute video, at least we know we've started, you know, and we've put the footrest back together. The footrest clamps on to there. A little bit of a weird design actually. Obviously it clamps to the frame rather than bolts to the frame, which I've not seen before. You know, maybe they had racing in mind when they designed it, who knows. But it's, yeah, slowly but surely it's getting back together, so I'll bring you back when there's a bit more done.
Oh guys, I always struggle with these back wheels when I'm on my Todd. Eccentric adjusters are a brilliant idea, but they have to be absolutely perfectly lined up, or you just end up pushing them out the other side. Although for chain adjustment they're absolutely brilliant. They're not, I mean, having shaft driven bikes, the last few bikes have been shafted, and they're just dead easy. They just naturally line up, slap it in. So it's yeah, it's sort of relearning the art now, and it's you can see I'll be fiddling around with spindles and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's why really I've always found these a pain in the arse. Anyway, crack on.
That's about it. I think the battery's nearly dead in the camera. It's still chuffing cold in here, even though I've got the radiator on. Basically, I've done what I wanted to get done today. We've got the back wheel on, we've got the chain on, we've got the start of the mud guards and stuff on, and what have you, igniter boxes, the tools of much joy, and we've got the rear brake mounted. All that's got to be sorted out. This has got to be remounted for the remote reservoir. This jiggery buggery has got to be sorted out. Obviously this remounted correctly and what have you, but we're getting there. I've got as far, I think, as I want to go today, because I can't feel my fingers. So until the next time, guys, thanks for tuning in, and well, there'll be another one shortly, hopefully a bit more mild next week, and we'll get a bit more done. So in the meantime, from the shoestring shed, it's a goodbye, and don't forget, follow this lot